But it's just so Josh can see my levels of anger.
Shut up. Justin, do the intro.
Justin's doing that.
Oh wait, are we starting now?
We were doing the intro.
Okay.
We started.
We're doing the intro.
We started.
I hear the music loud and
Shoot.
clear. Welcome back to the Mutually Assured Destruction podcast. My name's Justin.
Well,
Josh,
introduce
it's
us.
you next. I think
This is my guest, Josh,
Hello.
Sharif,
Hey.
and a new guest on the podcast, Regina. Say hi.
Hi, I'm Regina, and this podcast is a lie. And
Wow, we're gonna
Josh
get
and
that.
Sharif have
All right.
misinformed you all, and I'm here to
Okay.
right the wrongs that they've
Well,
committed.
We
before
need to-
you
we need to
start
clarify.
lying blatantly on the record, thanks for having us on, Justin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
well,
course,
this is a
anytime.
Great podcast.
I know, it's
Yeah,
millions of views every week.
This is Justin's first 4-person podcast. He hasn't
Same.
recorded one of these yet, so this should be interesting.
This is
I
my
think
first
but-
podcast
we should-
ever.
We should totally
Ever?
clarify
Yeah.
what Regina meant. We should totally clarify
Well-
what Regina meant about everything on this podcast is a lie. And it goes back a few months. So, Regina, do you want to explain what happened?
Oh shoot, where do I start?
How
think
about
you
it
start
starts
where
with
you
a simple
betrayed us.
text message
No,
receival
but
from me?
I think we should start with how Sharif and I know each other, and
We
No,
don't.
no.
You did,
You don't
exactly.
need
You
to
kind
don't
of
know
know
each
each
other.
other.
relationship between a 24-year-old and an 18-year-old.
Hey, I'm 25.
I thought you were 26.
Oh!
No, I'm not dying. I'm just old.
Okay, well,
All right.
so Sharif and I met like in quotes
In quotations.
on Discord, and we were playing. I remember this so vividly. We were playing Minecraft, and Sharif, you sent like a couple pictures of yourself from high school in no mic, and I was so surprised because I was like, oh, I didn't realize this is what Sharif looked like because of your profile picture, which is
Oh,
your
so you've seen me from high school.
yeah.
You've seen beardless Sharif. Scrawny
Wow.
beardless
That's seen you now you really have no idea what I look like because who I look like in high school, and you can have Josh confirm this, looks absolutely nothing like I
You
do
from
now.
5 years ago looks nothing like you now. You did that comparison on Facebook or Instagram, right?
On Twitter. Yeah, it's pretty horrific to look at. It's funny because you can see it and like my forehead's there, but somehow I've gained hair. Like instead of my hairline receding, it's moved forward, which I don't know.
They
if this
still
is-
don't know your profile picture is.
It's him
We haven't
as
explained
Ben
it.
Franklin. Because
Oh,
we
the one I have right now for Discord?
Yeah, like we haven't explained
That's
that.
me.
He's the founding father.
Oh.
Well,
Basically, where this story is going is me and Regina have known each other for the more than a year now, and I don't know what she
Really?
looks like. She doesn't know what I look like. I think it's been more than a year.
No,
it's
it's
been
that
almost
was-
a year.
it's
been
going
almost
on
a
a
year.
year.
August of
Last
2020.
2020.
And it's
yeah.
this funny little inside joke. So now she has a picture of me as Benjamin Franklin. Some would say it's Photoshop, but they're liars. She has
All the haters are gonna
What-
say it's fake.
she has a picture of my foot, I believe.
No,
Yeah.
not your
It was-
foot,
it
your
was
thumb.
It was your thumb.
My thumb. She has a
Gina,
picture of
asking
my
for some
thumb.
Weird pictures over here.
And I think that I've given out a lot of feet pics, which is a very weird
Oh.
thing to say. But
Do you remember that one time, like months and months
we
ago?
all just
it
took
was,
pictures of our feet
Yeah, we
and
were in
posted in the group chat.
We were in the Discord with like Mafa people, and they were like, "What if we just all took a picture of our foot right now and send it to our Safa group chat?" And then like 10 of us did or something like that, and like people
Yeah.
had no idea what was going on.
Ew.
That was fun. We were trendsetters. We got it going. Listen,
We
don't
really
be
did.
ashamed of your
Then
feet.
you guys didn't stop making fun of my feet for an entire round of Kahoot.
What's wrong with your
You
feet?
remember that.
You
Jackbox.
You have like
Oh,
Rottweiler feet.
Yes,
I don't know how else
remember
to
that.
explain
I remember
it.
that.
Like I don't know how else to explain. You have long, skinny, dark feet.
Hang on.
That's the best way to explain it. It's Dave. All right, we're pausing. So this is gonna get edited out because it's just an awkward silence. No, but we're back. Total, not a jump cut or anything. What Dave want?
Keys.
Cheese?
Keys.
Bees.
Oh, okay. We're back. Not a weird jump cut or anything.
Cheese.
Anyways,
No.
Yeah.
Bees.
Bees.
Beans.
Bees.
so since she wanted to get on the right immediately to it, I sent Regina a text. I asked for Justin's
foot pic.
No.
to
No.
verify it was actually me.
Oh yeah.
And I asked for Justin's his
My
what do you
address.
call it? His address.
Yes.
I
What do
forgot
you
the
call
word
it?
for address for a second. I wanted to send him some tasteful mustaches.
See, I was confused
And-
I still have
because
a bunch of them. I've barely used them.
my brother's name.
Immediately. You immediately
No.
told him about
Okay.
it.
Yeah, she
was-
immediately took a screenshot of it and then sent it to me.
Yeah,
I'm
I
scared.
would-
What does this
Immediately
mean?
ruined the
I
She's like,
didn't even
"What does
open
this
it up
mean?"
yet. I just I pressed the home button on my phone and it's just the text from Sharif. I screenshotted it and I sent it to Cinco because my brother's name is Justin and I thought you were somehow asking for my address.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Why would I-
By asking for my brother's address, who I live with. So, and
I don't even know you have
I
a
was gonna
brother.
say
Like-
he doesn't even know
But
your
I
brother, so
don't-
I don't know why.
I don't call Cinco Justin, so I didn't even think of Cinco. But I knew that Cinco, you're friends with Sharif, so I was like, okay, Cinco, what's happening? I'm scared. Why is Sharif asking for my address? And then,
No.
then
See,
you're.
but if you thought logically and you're like, hey, why would he ask for my address?
What
through
about
my
any of this
brother?
is
I feel like you
logical?
know Josh enough. I feel like you know Josh enough that you could consulted him for like a translation of what I meant. Because
Yeah,
very few people speak my language, but I feel like Josh understands it.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
I've
he's the
spent
one
many years
translator.
deciphering your fat thumb texts.
But now he knows. He knows what it all means. Like I feel like you could have just showed Josh and like easily gotten out of the way. I think I gotta pull these texts up. But I'm pretty sure I
Yeah,
said
I'm
don't
pulling
tell
them
Justin
up.
about this.
No.
I said
I didn't even open up the text yet. And all you said was, what's Justin's address? And then I texted Cinco. So I didn't even know. You didn't even say, don't tell him before I told him. So I told him, and then you said,
Alright,
don't tell
I'll-
him.
Here, I have it right here. I sent a picture of my thumb.
Was that the first thing that got sent?
That was one of them. I sent it. She said no problem. Sharif/Josh in Sharif suit. I sent her the picture of the mustaches, so she knew what it was. And I said keep it between me and you. But Justin's about to get a whole lot manlier. And then you immediately told him what was happening.
No, I told him before that entire conversation happened.
In her defense, she did send screenshots of
You're
the first like 2
defending
texts,
her?
and she sent screenshots of like the first 2 texts, and she didn't say anything else about that after.
Who doesn't
he said,
open a text?
Yeah,
He
I
said-
said nothing about the mustaches.
He said, keep this between us. Like at the end of the conversation, she sent me the very beginning of the conversation when it happened.
You had to click one button, Regina, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, I'll you know what? I should have expected this.
What?
I mean, there's only so much you can trust children with. You have to understand that I am the second oldest of 9 kids. If you were in my family, you would be you're the same age as my 5th oldest sibling right now. That's a
crazy.
huge separation in like
I'm legally
where you are down the
an
line.
adult. I'm 18.
You're legally nothing.
Yeah, but you're like 3
but-
feet tall.
You're like
I am actually tall for my age. I'm 5
See,
something.
she's saying that as if she still has room to grow, which is just a bad sign off the start. Like the doctor hasn't told her she's done growing yet. They're like, "Oh, you might get a second growth spurt." I'm 25. I'm pretty much dead at this point. Like there's nothing else new that's
Shoot,
gonna
you're halfway
happen
to
for
50.
me. I'm halfway to
Wow.
50, dude.
Quarter life crisis.
But yeah,
Or
either way,
half-life, midlife crisis.
either
right
way,
now.
midlife crisis.
whatever
Never too
works
early.
for Sharif.
I had my midlife crisis when I was 13.
Does
How
that
old are
mean
you
you're...
now,
Wait,
Josh?
how old are you right now?
22.
22.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you're getting close to the
it's
end.
really getting there.
You'll be done with your program at the place you're moving to, and then a couple
You'll
years
die.
into that profession,
I'll
and then you're
finally
dead.
be a doctor, and then I can be done.
And then you're dead.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But before Regina wanted to bring up her past betrayals,
What?
I was gonna say something. Josh, I think the metaphorical walls are caving in on us a little.
What do you mean?
I think I think my siblings and family might have found out we do this podcast.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Well, all right, you probably know too, because I was talking to Abdul, my older brother, about you the other day, because I was talking about CrossFit. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's really working for Josh. And I was like, he posts all the time about it on Instagram. And he's like, oh, I don't have him on Instagram. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Why
And
he added me the other day.
He started looking you up, and he's like, Josh Rousseau, host of the All Mutually Assured Destruction podcast.
Oh,
What's
shit.
that? And I was just like,
no.
I was like, oh no.
This is where it all
And
falls
I
apart.
was like, I just brushed past it. I was like, anyways, let's talk about something else. And it's like a thing of, I don't care if my siblings or whoever finds this podcast, but it's a thing of they wouldn't understand it. They just think it's weird.
Dude, because
So
Wait,
my
so
family, like, they heard about it, like, when they saw us, they were, like, recording, like, oh, what are you recording for? I'm like, nothing.
yeah,
school
wait, so
project
all
while you both are
100 of
graduated?
your siblings found out about this
Right.
podcast. Every
if
single
they
one of them.
did, I would have been. If I don't think we're busted yet, but if they did, I probably would have been openly roasted in our
If
family
they
group
made
chat
fun
by
of
now.
you for eating fruit salad, they're gonna make
They
fun
made
of you.
fun of me for eating a fruit salad. I guarantee you they're gonna like hang this over my head for the rest of my life. Which is fine. I don't care. I don't live there anymore. But it's like a thing of like I want this barrier to be up. Then a second thing happened that kind of feels like it put the nail in the coffin. My dad tried adding me on Instagram. And I was like, and I looked and I was like, ooh, private account, delete all the posts I made about the Mutually Assured Destruction podcast. Let's hope that's enough damage that he didn't scroll down far enough to like figure out what this podcast
Oh
is.
no.
So I don't know how much he saw because he sent me a friend request and I went into panic mode and just started deleting posts
Should
about
I add
this
your dad on
podcast.
Instagram?
Did you delete his friend
I don't-
request?
I did, and I feel bad. I privated my account.
Oh.
I went to full like panic because it's like a thing of like I have my dad on social media, some things like Facebook, but I feel like some social media you shouldn't have your parents on.
No.
Like I feel like you need
Like,
some
I will
spaces
never
where you
add them on Twitter. Ever.
Yeah, like I feel like there's some spaces where you need to have like
Some
the
freedom?
ability to talk to your
Yes.
friends out loud without your parents like looking and sending you a text later. It's like, why did you tweet this? And it's like, oh, I don't want to have this conversation.
Yeah. Like the
So-
conversation I had this morning.
Yeah, we're not gonna go about. We're not gonna talk about that actually on here.
Let's not.
That's a mess.
Hey, Sharif,
yeah.
Sharif, so
What?
you know how you live in Boston, right? In the
Yeah,
greater Boston
yeah,
area?
Greater Boston area.
I don't know why, but on my TikTok, like, For You page, I've been getting all these videos about, like,
Uh-huh.
in the Appalachian area of all,
Oh,
like,
yeah?
the weird, like, creatures and, like, Native American lore that people have been seeing recently.
Don't tell me Dogman's here as well.
Oh, yes.
He's here as well.
Well,
Dogman followed
version,
me.
A version of it, but the big ones, like, you're not supposed to say their names, and I'm not going to.
I'll say him.
Just
What are they?
describe them. Just
well-
describe them.
Well, one of them is the Winnebago.
Oh, the Wendigo.
Yeah, that.
I fucking love Wendigos.
And
I wish I could meet one.
what's the
I
other
go
one?
hiking. See, if I disappear, this will be super intriguing because I go hiking in the Appalachians by myself all the time. Like on the weekends, I'll sometimes just like I'll hop in my car, I'll drive like 2.5 hours north, and I'll just start walking in the woods. And there's a lot of fun things to be seen, but sometimes it does get hella spooky, and sometimes I am there like near dark.
I'm just
Like, and I've heard a
imagining.
lot of stories where, like, you know that when the forest goes completely silent, that's like when something is wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
There's been a lot of stories where people say, like, the forest goes completely silent and, like, they just know something is watching them and, like, they've seen
That's
things.
not good because I hike with my headphones in. So
Ooh.
Dude,
I
it is horrifying, like, the stories I've heard on, like, TikTok
Yeah.
and YouTube now. And one of the other big ones that I really do not like, but I can't stop watching videos on, I'm not going to say the name, but you could say it if you want, if you know what I'm talking about. They're the flesh runners.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what their names are. Yeah, those are creepy.
What's
but
another
I-
word for flesh, Sharif? That's this.
Skin
Cheek.
And instead of running,
Oh.
you're
sprinters,
a slower version of
Mar-
running.
Joggers.
skinwalkers,
Yeah.
skinwalkers. Ah! Something's about to bust through my door right now. No, I being the person I am, which is the opposite of Regina,
Oh.
I enjoy the
Like
amenities
a
of
large
being
Arab
able.
man.
I would say I enjoy the amenities of having no fear of people. Like I am the person people fear in public irrationally.
Wait, so do you
Like if
think I'm
someone
afraid of
walks,
everyone?
Yes.
I feel like you're more of a target for sure.
Oh.
You're 2 feet tall.
Actually, when
I
at
feel like
Zap Zone, my title was always best target.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say you just seem like someone that people like warn about. Like you seem like someone like a random mom will walk by you and like try to hold your hand and be like, don't
It's
wander
okay,
into the
dear.
You
street,
don't
little
even know
child.
what I look like.
I can tell just by the few conversations we have.
It's your voice, Regina.
It's
I
your
do
voice.
sound like a
You sound like
child.
a 10-year-old.
I do.
You sound like a
You
10-year-old.
are a child.
I do. I
Yeah.
feel like a child.
Wait,
So it's okay.
Did we need a parental consent form for her to be on here?
Regina, we need a permission
A
slip.
permission slip.
Regina, I once, when I first started growing my beard out and didn't really have it, I once rounded a corner and almost got pepper sprayed by a lady who shrieked out loud because I turned a corner too fast. And that's happened several times, even when we went to school. You know the front staircase in the student center?
No.
She does not. She does not because
she's
she.
never
Oh
been
my
on campus.
god, you've never
her
been on
entire
campus!
freshman
Never been on
year
campus.
Was online.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it
You're just
sucks.
an online student.
Justin
Anyways,
knows what
this-
we're talking about, though.
I do.
The
I know what
student
you're talking
center,
about. Right outside
when
the
you
info desk.
I was gonna say, if you get to see it before you graduate, the student center has a front staircase that's like a series of blind turns.
Mhm.
It's just 3
Mhm.
blind turns.
Yeah.
I turned the first one, and there was a girl right there, and she almost stumbled backwards down the stairs and yelled at like top of her lungs. And I'm like, I just existed. So it's like a thing of
Bro,
like,
I'll just go to
if
school
I'm
here.
if I'm in the city or if I'm in the middle of the woods, I don't have a fear of running into someone who's like looking to do harm for me because I know they're looking at me thinking, is this dude about to murder me? So it's a thing of I can walk in the woods with headphones. So I feel like if there was a scenario where the woods suddenly went quiet, I would never know.
You would never know.
It'd be completely
Chris.
silent, and all like the creatures would hear is you just like humming to your music, like.
Dancing in the moonlight. just singing out loud and
And like
you know,
whatever's
something's
stalking you is
hovering
like, what
over
the fuck
me.
is wrong with him?
It's like he should have noticed the creepy like moaning I'm doing in his ear right now. Just like,
Bro, I thought that was a part of the
It
song.
is creepy. The things that I've heard people say like that those two things will do to try to draw people outside their homes is like they'll like mimic baby crying, or they'll
Oh my God.
scratch at your windows or knock on your door.
that's crazy
No,
because
thank you.
we have foxes in our neighborhood. Well, where I used to live in Michigan, we have foxes, and sometimes they like shriek at night. So like you'll just hear like
horrifying.
shrieking from the woods, and I'm like, no thanks.
It's a dog.
But
man.
we know it's a fox.
It's a dog
um,
man.
Wait, did you
I
tell the
feel like-
story about the dogman on the podcast? Because I know you told me.
No,
Like your encounters.
yeah.
You should tell us that story.
Wait, I'm pretty sure.
I
you
feel
did.
like I might
can't
have.
remember,
I think I
honestly.
did actually. I think I did.
I think
I
at this
feel
point,
like
we
I
need
would
to keep a record of things we have and haven't said.
We
already.
really, yeah.
maybe. I feel like I would do so good in a supernatural encounter because I've kind of become numb to these things. Like it's a thing of like there were shadows in my house. Like I don't know if I can call them shadow people. Well, no, I guess they were kind of shadow people. There were like spooky things that happened in my house, and my reaction was always like, oh okay.
It's like,
And
oh,
it's like, yeah, it's just like, it became a normal thing to where I think whatever I was seeing would leave before I had a chance to really absorb it because it knew that I was like normalized to whatever it was. Like there was a lot of
well,
spooky
like, oh, this isn't
happenings
fun
in the
to
middle.
mess around with him anymore.
Yeah, but that's why I love New Hampshire because it has like an eerie silence to it. It feels like I can understand why the original settlers were like, witch, because the woods do be spooky as hell.
Dude, if I ever come back out to like the Boston area, we should
Yeah.
go not hiking, driving through like somewhere in the Appalachian.
Yeah.
And I just want to see if we can like hear or find something creepy and then just book it because I don't want to be around to actually find out.
I think we should do
You just
night
wanna get
hiking in
scared
the
and then
woods.
leave?
No. No.
I think we should.
It's for the
Josh, do you
adrenaline
remember
rush.
when we stopped over in the woods in my house? How quiet it was.
Yeah, that was horrifying.
That was so cool.
It
There's
was
two types of
awesome.
people in this world. Two types.
It was cool. I do this. Well, I once did it on accident, where the woods to my house, when you're driving them at night, they're dirt roads, and there's zero light whatsoever. And I was once on my bike when the starter what was it? Motorcycles don't have they rebuild battery different than cars. And mine was failing, so my battery started failing. So my headlight on my motorcycle started to flicker, and then it went out, and it was just pitch black. And I'm driving on this pitch black dirt road full of potholes, and I was like, "Oh crap!" So I turn off my motorcycle and start walking my bike home, and I'm like, I can't see a thing. And I ended up walking half a mile at like 2 a.m. to get my motorcycle to my house. But I'm like, I remember thinking, like, if anything jumps out at me from any direction, I'm just dead. I'll be dead. Like, there's no fighting whatever's coming at me.
Yeah, it's even worse because like the trees around the road are so dense.
They're dense and they make whooshy leaf noises by the wind. So you're just sitting there in the darkness and you just hear whoosh. And it's like, ooh, scenic.
Regina,
You willingly want to do that in the Appalachian?
I think it'd be fun with friends.
with friends, so it's like watching a horror movie. With friends,
So we
it's
can all
different than
die
watching
together.
alone.
I feel
can all
like
die together.
wandering the darkness by yourself is fun when you're with people.
You know, Sharif, you do that with like Jason and live stream it to me. I'll be in the
Jason
safety of
would
my home.
never. I feel like the girl shrieks would come out of it. Not one of the 20 Jasons we have in the group. Jason,
I know which
do they
Jason
know
you're
Jason?
talking about.
Yeah, Jason.
You know
Wright.
Jason. Does
Jason
Regina
Wright.
know Jason?
No.
No, she doesn't.
She
She doesn't know
not.
Jason. That's a shame. Jason's dope.
Yeah, Jason doesn't like flying or anything, so I doubt he would want to go night hiking somewhere notorious
Jason-
with people going missing.
You know, Jason is so adventurous for someone who doesn't like anything.
Yeah.
He hates everything. It's like he hates heights, he hates depths, he hates like ground level. Jason just doesn't like anything.
Wait,
But-
going
Josh,
back to the paranormal thing, Regina, you've had a
Yeah.
paranormal experience, haven't you?
What?
Oh, have you?
You involving at JJ's house?
Oh no, that was not paranormal. That was me being a child.
What happened?
I just woke up. Okay, I was there for a sleepover, and I just woke up in the middle of the night crying, and I didn't remember any of it. But apparently, I woke up. I told a couple of the parents I want to go home. They drove me home. Like that's all that happened.
But for full context, though, JJ's house, they have had paranormal experiences.
Oh, yeah, they
there
have a
besides
ghost.
That one, they have
Oh,
a
yeah,
ghost there.
I've heard the story about the kid he used to play with.
Yeah,
in his
there's
room.
like, long story short, JJ was in like his playroom, and then like a kid was there, and they started playing with each other. And then when
Whoa.
JJ got outside, his dad was outside the door. He was like, "Who are you talking to?" He's like, "That's my new friend, so and so." Is like, they
I
look back
assume
inside the
JJ
room.
was also a kid.
Wait, was the
Yeah,
kid
they
the
were
ghost?
the same age. Yeah, the
But
kid was
long
the
story
ghost.
short,
Oh,
he would
okay, that's
hang out
David.
with him pretty often, and then I think recently JJ looked up the history of the property, and there used to be a barn there that burned down
Yeah.
with a child inside.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
No, but he said that the ghost named his little brother.
Yeah, it was his brother. Like, yeah, the ghost told him to name his brother Jacob, and that's literally the reason why his brother is named Jacob. Is that the ghost
That's
yo,
an
this is
horrible
like
reason
and
to
then-
name-
this is
and
that's
just
the kid's
it's
get
gonna end
possessed.
tragically.
I mean, but at the
I
same
was
time,
gonna say,
you know how superstitious Filipinos are. So like, if
Yeah.
a ghost tells you to name your kid a certain name,
Wait,
then you gotta
He's a
do
friendly
it. You
y'all
Oh,
listen.
speaking about supernatural and Filipino stuff. Have you guys seen that new show on Netflix?
I just
Trece?
started watching
Oh,
it today.
I
I've
wanna
not
watch
finished it.
that.
Don't spoil it.
looks
I
so
just started
good.
watching
Sharif,
it.
I think you would love it. It's an animated show. It's kind of like
Uh-huh.
anime style.
Okay.
Like animation, but it's all based in like Filipino like lore and supernatural like
Ooh.
mythology.
This sounds spicy. I'm down.
I think I'm getting my
I'm
parents
down.
to watch
I'll
it
watch
too.
that.
Like I told them to watch it, and we watched maybe half the first episode together, and they're like, they really were into it because like they could like relate to like, oh yeah, that's this. It's like I know about this and
Yeah,
stuff.
I
So
love
like
how
they really could relate to
accurate
it.
a lot of the things are too.
Mm-hmm.
My yeah. I, Ghosts are weird, and especially being half white, I feel like there's something in me that like makes me want to understand ghosts, but another part that's like I don't want anything to do with them. And my mom being white, she's had like white people ghost experiences where it's like her uncle for a living, what he used to do was he used to renovate houses from the 17 and 1800s. So he would crawl around attics and forgotten basements and like clear out all these like things and hand them to my mom to play with, which were like old porcelain
Ooh, no, thank
dolls
you.
and like creepy horses and stuff.
Mm.
And she said that one house that he was renovate. This is literally hold on. This is literally like the Haunting of Hill House. This is literally season 1 of that show.
Yeah.
Her uncle literally used to renovate these old houses, and she used to just hang out with him when he was doing it. And she said her and her siblings were in this old 1700s Victorian mansion, and they were playing in the basement, and the basement was a dirt floor basement with like different brick rooms, and they were made of like solid brick. And she said one of the corner rooms of the basement had like a little swing set in it and one of those rocking horses. And she said every time they went down there, the rocking horse and the swings were just moving on their own.
Uh,
They said they said they could never play in that corner of the basement because every time they would come down there, like they'd still slightly be rocking.
I would never
And,
even go
like,
in the basement.
I hate that so
I
much.
would. No, thank you.
Yeah, but they didn't live there or anything. They just they were
They
there
hung
for a
out
few
there
months while
during
my
the day.
uncle was renovating it. Yeah, so.
Mm-mm.
But that got her. That's like why she started like collecting vintage stuff, and why she puts all this furniture in her house that looks like it's haunted.
Because it probably
Speaking
is.
of haunted, Sharif sent me something in the mail.
Did we never discussed that, did
This
we?
wasn't long after he sent me the mustaches in the mail.
Yeah,
Feet pics?
this was revenge.
Yeah,
It was
Polaroid
worse than
pics
feet
of-
pics.
I
Polaroid
came
pics of Sharif's toes.
I came back home for Easter break and my dad told me there was a package and I didn't remember ordering a package and I opened it up. It was anonymous. There was no name. I opened it up and there was a mask and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a pretty color, but I do not remember ordering this mask. And then I turned it over and there's a Nicolas Cage face on it. I was so
Have you worn it yet?
scared. No, I haven't even washed it yet, but it's hanging up on my wall right now.
It's
Just
like
watching over
you
you
showed it to me
Yeah.
before. It's like a deity in your room. I have this list. I have an Amazon list of weird things Amazon recommends me because it doesn't know what I want to buy. And that was when I was saving, and
No,
I
Sharif,
was
it
like,
knows exactly
it is
what you
time.
want to buy.
My sister
It
told me to
doesn't
burn
because-
it.
She might be right, but time
No,
will tell.
I'm gonna wear it when I meet you. I'm gonna wear it over my eyes, and you're gonna be you're gonna be dressed up as Benjamin Franklin, as you always are dressed up as, and
As always, of course.
yeah, and I'm gonna take out my mask, and I'm gonna meet you.
That's quite the entrance on both our behalfs.
I wonder if we could find a suit that'll fit. I just as you're talking about like all these stories, I just imagine like a large Arabic man dressed up as Benjamin Franklin, like in the woods or like on his
Riding around in the
motorcycle.
woods.
I think that would. I don't know why, but I feel like I'd be more intimidating dressed as Benjamin Franklin. Like, I think people would extra steer clear of me. They'd be like, "He's big and
big,
on some
scary,
shit."
and weird.
Yeah, this man's a triple threat. Someone call the police. We'll get him arrested on suspicion of something.
Sharif, remember
Yeah.
when you told me about what you used to do in the airport as a kid?
We discussed that last podcast.
Was it last podcast?
Yeah, I just got done editing it a few days ago. Oh, by the way, we switched to bi-weekly because me and Josh are too busy all the time, and it just so happens that like every other week now we can't figure shit out. But I think as soon as you like fully move in,
Yeah,
Josh, I
I'm
think
just
we'll go
really
back to
busy
weekly.
with work and the move right now, so
So it'll probably only last a little more than a month. We'll be back to weekly sooner than later. But speaking of that, Josh, all right, the four of us here right now, it got me thinking a question I proposed at the last or two podcasts ago. I asked if we were just in the middle of nowhere, like how long would it take us to build a computer, right? We went over all that just out of nothing. Like we're just sitting in the middle of the wilderness. How long does it take us to build? I kind of want to know if we get dumped on a remote island, how long do you think it would take the four of us here to build an airplane and get ourselves off the island?
I mean, given that all four of us are STEM majors,
because I could easily make a giant kite. But
well, it needs to carry all four of us off of the island.
No, never.
Let's say we can. Let's say you don't think we could ever come up with a plane that'll get the four of us off an island.
It's just going to take a while.
No,
we could you don't think we can make like four single person flyers?
So what we got to do is build a giant slingshot first, and then we build the plane, and then we use the slingshot to launch instead of using a runway.
To make this easier, let's say we can see land on the horizon, but no one knows we're on this island.
All right, is there
no one's coming for us
that we can just like make a giant hang glider and just go off of that?
I'm gonna say, well, even if there was like Mount Everest, I'm gonna say you can't hang glide to the horizon, because from the human eye, the horizon I believe is 12 miles away. So I don't think there's a mountain on Earth tall enough for us to hang glide over towards a 12-mile distance.
That's why I said we just got to build a big enough slingshot or trebuchet to launch us in a plane, and it'll just glide us all the way to land.
You guys don't think we can actually build a plane?
I would slow you guys down. I would be hungry and tired, and I would just complain.
Regina, you're literally the lightest of us. You would not slow us down by physicality. Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say when you first brought up, I was like, if all four of us are stuck in a remote island, I was like, Regina. Before I even finished,
we'll keep Regina alive. Regina, don't worry. You can contribute. We'll take care of all your needs as long as you're the first one on the plane.
Oh,
that's like the counterpart. It's like, listen, we'll hunt, we'll do like all the survival stuff, but when we build the prototype, you're first on there.
Oh, so I'm like the guinea pig.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I can't swim though, so if it falls, I die.
Well,
you can't swim. No. Are you Hold on, you're Filipino. You should be able to swim by like right of being an islander. No, Jason is too, I guess.
Yeah, Jason hates the water.
God, he hates everything. Jason, there's literally not a suitable environment for Jason to exist in.
No, but Sharif, what I was saying, what we could feasibly do, you know those surfboards where the fin on the bottom, instead of just one straight line, it's more like a T shape.
Yeah.
And the
the
T is really long, so you can kind of like rock it, and it keeps propelling you forward.
But I'm build a plane, not a boat.
Let's just say, there's like some sort of water barrier. Like there's like really vicious sharks for like
when you said water barrier, my first thought was just saran wrap over the entire ocean.
Saran wrap over the ocean. I'm gonna say something simpler, some really rocky reefs that you can't get out like far enough. You'll just like crash.
No, I like saran wrap ocean.
Saran wrap works as well. But let's say ocean, not a viable thing. Like no one knows we're on this island, but like we can see the mainland that'll connect us back to civilization on the horizon.
Okay, so how big is the island, and what kind of stuff is there, like resource-wise?
It has as much resources as we need that you'd find on an island. Let's say we're somewhere that's like habitable, like a tropical.
Then why don't we just live there?
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Start our own civilization.
I feel like I'd try starting a dictatorship too quickly. I don't trust my. I think it wouldn't. Yeah.
Kind of like the first uphill on a roller coaster. You build something like that, and we each have individual like, I don't know, I want to say like planes, but like gliders.
We can make a
giant boulder on the top that you run down to the bottom, so it launches you off of this giant ramp into the sky, and hopefully gets you enough height where you could glide to the horizon.
How did Sharif die on this island? Well, we dropped a boulder on him, and then his body went sailing into the ocean, and he was never seen from again.
No. What happens is
this sounds like the worst idea.
You died, but you were still attached to your glider. So we all four of us make it to land, except it's just your dead body and the three of us alive.
I feel like the boulder is gonna land, and then whatever contraption Josh has built to like fling me into the sky would just hit me with enough force to kill me. Like I don't think this plan is feasible in any way. I think for
75% of us, it's pretty good.
I think we could make it a wind-up engine. I think we could do that.
Hand crank.
No, I'm talking one look like a lawnmower cord that you just like have to row like a boat. I think we could do something like that.
What are we gonna do?
You don't think we can make?
think we could make that like feasibly.
What are we
make
gonna
that on an
do to
island. You could
fuel it?
not.
Like,
You could not. I feel like we
We
could
need
make
some sort of
enough
metal,
gears and get a
wouldn't we?
high enough ratio where you can just crank it and fucking rip that thing.
We'd have to do some sort of metal refinement, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is y'all are very pessimistic about this, and I really believe in us as a team.
I mean, to be
See,
honest,
Sharif,
like
that's because we're not dumb.
I'm not
we
gonna
would have
build.
to
I'm just
start
gonna
our
sit in
own
the plane.
civilization. We would have to start our own civilization first to be able to do all of this stuff. Like you said, metal refinement. We'd have to do a whole bunch of shit
We
before
literally
that.
have to go from the Stone Age to like the Iron Age.
We can do that.
With the four
I
of
believe
us.
in us. I
Well,
think we have
realistically, the
enough
three of us.
engineering degrees between us and Regina to do this.
What'd you say?
I'm an
Regina? She's a
engineering
mechanical
student.
engineering major.
Oh, are you? I didn't know
Yeah,
what you were. I didn't
mechanical
wanna assume.
engineering.
It's perfect, dude. That's literally everything we need. Josh does bio. I do electrical. Just in your computer.
Hey,
I'm mechanical too,
shut
so
up, Sharif. I
He's
also
mechanical.
do
We have chemical. We
I do
literally have the
both.
4 elements over here.
no, I said mechanical, not chemical.
Yeah. We have mechanical, bio, electrical, and chemical.
He
We
said
have
I'm
the
mechanical
you
too.
idiot.
Regina's mechanical too.
Oh, you're both mechanical.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's kind of
Aw.
a redundancy.
Sharif, I already have the mechanical degree. We can just get rid of both of them.
We could do that, but
Yeah.
I don't
Oh.
know. I thought we do need test subjects. I think Justin can. He's too pessimistic as of right now. I don't know.
we send Regina
like
first.
this
If she dies,
attitude.
we abandon it.
We could still use her as like some sort of test after she's died.
Oh.
We can launch her
Crash dummy.
twice.
A crash body
Launch my
together.
dead body.
Well, we gotta have something to simulate human aerodynamics. But there's child
Here's the
aerodynamics.
important
Yeah,
thing.
that's
If we're on
child
this island,
abuse.
Do we get one item?
Huh?
Wait,
Can we get
what?
one item if we're dropped off on this island?
What would you pick? An airplane?
A Brita filter?
A Brita filter. I like how you got one item and Josh doesn't say an airplane.
Is this a callback to
Brita
the first
filter.
episode of the podcast?
I don't think it was the first episode,
Or
but
the
it's
second
definitely like
podcast.
one
That
of the
was
earlier
second
ones.
episode.
Yeah. Either way, I think a Brita filter.
That
we could
episode
use-
was a 4 out of 10, Sharif.
Oh.
All right.
Anyways.
Moving past that, uncalled for, uncalled. I getting off onto another tangent. I was looking up. I didn't realize how fat the fattest person in the world is.
Oh, yeah.
How fast?
Do you know how fat the fattest person in the world got up to? How
400
much they ended up
pounds.
weighing?
1,000.
1,400 pounds.
Oh, jeez.
1,400.
How do you hold that much?
1,400. That's unimaginable because you've seen the people on my 600-pound life. That's an unlivable life. And then going up to
You'd be hospitalized.
1,400?
Wouldn't you be
What
like,
kind of- no hospital would be
Those
able
are
to
the
take
people that
you.
live
on
yeah,
this
no,
bed
like, wouldn't you be
that
like
big.
dripping off the bed?
No.
Like,
At
More
that
than just
point,
that.
it's literally not even probably their fault. It's probably they have like family that just constantly feeds them too, and like
It's
doesn't
that.
try to
It's a
help them.
support system and it's mental issues.
Yeah,
It's an unfortunate combination of those two. But the person themselves looked like they were cone shaped, like an upside down cone. Like their head was like the very peak, and then they were literally just like a puddle of human. It was
Oh.
insane.
No, I don't want
Dude, that
to.
like
But
that makes me really like just upset and like sad to see things like
all that really made me. I didn't even think of those connotations. All I was thinking is, "Wow, skin can stretch." That's all I could think of. Is like
I mean,
how
yeah.
fascinating. What is skin made of that it can stretch to hold that type of weight? Can you? Because Josh, if
Cells?
you wanted to right now, I'm sure you could you can develop a bad enough habit that you could get up to that weight with your skin right now.
Yeah,
But that's crazy. The skin that you possess right now can hold 1,400 pounds of weight.
can you grow skin? Like, does that happen?
It's not healthy skin for sure.
Well,
I don't know if it grows because I know it stretches for sure. Does someone
your
like that
skin
just
is
have?
really stretchy to like? You've seen like the people like when they get liposuction because I liposuction is a really like cheap way of just losing weight. And a lot of times
Yeah.
people like relapse and they'll just gain the weight back. And, after they get liposuction, they have the skin removed because it's just going to hang there. And then they
Yeah.
look normal. And then they binge again. They relapse. They gain the weight back. The skin re-stretches.
Well,
Like, it happens multiple times.
apparently, with gastric bypasses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like so gastric bypass is literally just put a rubber band around like a giant portion of your stomach so it becomes unusable at that point. I think there's a more extreme version of it in which they actually like cut off part of your stomach and just restitch it. And apparently that skin is not like, or that tissue is not like skin, to where if you like cough hard enough, apparently it could rupture and you could like die of that.
Yeah, because if
So,
it
like,
ruptures, you just get stomach acid in your body.
You die of like internal infection,
No,
like
you die
toxic
of
shock.
literally melting yourself from the inside.
That's true. But it's like a thing of like, why isn't that stuff made of what skin's made of?
Because it would eat through your skin. Dude,
Yeah,
stomach
I
acid.
suppose it does have to be different material, doesn't it? I don't know. I just found it really fascinating that skin has that much elasticity.
You saying why couldn't that be made out of the same thing as skin put a really disturbing thought in my head. Like, why can't our hair be made out of skin? Like, imagine
Ew.
skin textured hair.
How would you get haircuts?
Wait,
It's
what
yours.
about your
That would
hair?
hurt.
You had more fingers on your head.
No, not even
Ew.
fingers, just strands of skin, not even just fingers.
No,
Ew.
fingers.
That's phenomenal. Why not? Why don't we?
Yeah, you just like you saying that just put that thought into my head. I just like just imagine skin hair.
I like
It's
where
oh,
you're going. Why
Peak human evolution. Where did we go wrong?
skin hair? Why don't we have that?
Because
I agree with you. What's the hair's pointless on its own? There's no point.
So
in
would you
hair.
just
It's
let it
like
grow?
a genetic
Keeps you
carryover.
warm, idiot.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
you just
Would
Like,
you just
most of
like
your
let
body
your
heat through your
skin
head
hair
and feet.
grow? Because if you
yeah,
cut
you
it,
just
it'll
have, like,
hurt.
spaghetti. I mean,
I don't know if
would
it would hurt because skin doesn't hurt. Nerves hurt.
So will you just have? It's just
There
like
wouldn't
dead
be enough-
skin.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
your hair is alive, and if you just like pinch your hair, it doesn't hurt.
No.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
No, no, no.
Doesn't it die
Your-
like
your
outside
hair
of the
is dead.
scalp? Yeah, I was gonna say.
Regardless,
Okay,
Your hair
even
is
if it's
dead.
alive. It's not innervated.
It's just your follicle. That's
But then, like,
alive.
it'll get dry in the winter, and then you have to like moisturize your hair.
Put chapstick on your
That's
head.
regular hair,
Put
Regina.
chapstick
That's
on
what
your
happens
head,
to
Sharif.
hair.
No, like
Chapstick on your head.
you'd have to lotion
like
your
this.
head.
I like what you're. There are no flaws to what you're saying right now. This is phenomenal. Shampoo wouldn't be a thing. It would just be soap all the way.
No, it would just be giant bottles of lotion for your
Lotion.
just for your hair, for your skin hair
Imagine
alone.
getting out of a pool, you just hear like slapping all.
Okay, so
I feel like
would
we just
your
type-
your skin hair be the same color as your skin, or would it be some other color?
Oh,
I assume it'd be the same color.
If it's dead
That's a good
skin, would it
point.
change color? Like,
Yes.
What
Also,
color would it
if we're
turn
voting
into?
on this, I am all for it. I agree.
I agree. I think this is peak human evolution. I don't understand why we haven't looked in this to begin with. I just think it'd be a really interesting thing. It'd probably get tumorous if we tried doing it right now.
Sharif, don't worry. I'm getting my PhD in bioengineering, so I'll
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Remind me
Get my
not
license
to be
revoked. Can you
friends with you
replace-
in the next 2 years when you start to research this. Remind me not to be near you or like anywhere like in contact with you.
Yeah, don't
I'll
worry, start with
volunteer.
mice.
I want to see this happen.
Sharif wants skin.
No, you can
hair.
start with me. You can start with me. I want to see
Okay.
this happen.
Wait, what
You
about
heard
your
it
beard?
here, folks.
Would you have a beard of skin?
No, my beard has to be hair. I can't have that.
No, no,
Okay.
your beard would be skin too, Sharif.
No, I said no.
Your
I just want to see the top
mustache.
of
Well,
the
I
head.
mean, if
I just
you're-
want to be like. I just want to be like a rooster.
Sharif, you can't cherry pick. It's either all or nothing.
Exactly. If the head
No.
on
Your
hair on
eyebrows.
your head is skin, like all of it's got to be skin.
Wait, what
I'm-
about
I'm
pubes
out.
then? And butt hair.
Your eyelashes.
Nose hair. Nose
This is
hair.
getting worse. I just thought we're talking about the hair on top of our head. I would be
Eyebrows.
totally fine.
leg hair.
Just more skin
legs
on your
with
skin.
More skin.
I feel like this would get really hot. Like you'd overload with Can you have too much skin?
No. All I'm saying, Sharif, that'd be a great way to dissipate heat, though, if you're really hot.
No, because then you just have all the skin folded over on itself.
But no, I'm imagining like, what if like as a homeostasis mechanism, like they all just like go stiff, kind of
like a bird. You're like a bird mating.
on heat,
like a heat sink. Yeah,
all the fins on heat sinks to dissipate more heat from the center.
I'm kind of regretting saying this skin hair thing now.
No, I don't think that works
like you're like Medusa.
wouldn't the flaps of skin themselves.
I took four thermodynamics courses. I know what I'm talking about.
You know what? I trust you. Let's move forward with this. I keep flipping between not liking this idea and loving it. I don't know what to decide on.
You're going to be a massive biological heat sink.
I generate so much heat. I'm totally okay with this idea.
I feel like you look like that squid guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, like with just like all the things coming from his face.
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sharif, that'd be your beard. You'd be Davy Jones.
That literally would be Sharif.
I would be okay with that. I'm fine with having a Davy Jones beard. I feel like it'd be a subtle improvement on what I got going right now.
How long is your beard now?
Subtle.
I guess we'll never know.
My beard?
Yeah.
Right now, oh god, I don't know. I'd say maybe 3.5 inches if I pull it straight. But I have really curly hair, and that's like the issue with the hair on top of my head, is it curls quite a bit. So I would say mine comes up to the bottom of my nose right now, so it's probably 4 or 5 inches long, but it pulls onto the top of my head. So all of my hair just like balls up into an afro, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, mine's a little longer than yours right now, Justin.
I measured my hair. It's 21 inches long.
God.
Dude,
that's insane.
My hair's starting to just naturally part in the middle now, and I don't like it.
What do you think do you think that's your white side or your Filipino side?
Definitely the white side. No, white side.
What, the middle part?
Both.
The middle part.
I have a natural middle part. I don't have a white side.
I have a natural comb over.
Well, Regina, I think that's just like a side effect of being Gen Z, is you have a natural middle part.
That's a side effect of being a child.
Right.
You just need to grow up.
Us millennials, our hair parts on the side. No, I think I'm distinctly millennial. Josh, you're kind of there as well. Justin, you kind of teeter.
I'm like, I'm in an in-between, I guess.
Well, it's weird because it depends who you ask. Because some people say like anyone born after 95 is considered Gen Z. Some people say, oh, it's up until 2000.
Well, Justin, you were 01, right?
I'm 2001, yeah. But at the same time, Regina's 2002.
That, by definition,
no,
doesn't
I feel like
count as millennial
Regina,
because you were born after the turn of the century.
Yeah. Justin, what's insane to me is I remember 9/11 happening, and while that was happening, you were just a baby.
No, I was still in my mother's stomach. I was born in October 2001.
I have memories that are older than you. That's insane to me. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I really, Justin, I was fully conscious before you were a thing.
We talked about this before, though. Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
me
we
too.
Talked about being fully conscious before.
Regina, when's your birthday? When were you born?
August 23rd, 2002.
God.
Sounds so wrong. I remember writing 2002 in a school book.
Whoa, you're old.
Going back to being fully conscious.
I'm so old.
Sharif and Josh, we had separate conversations about this. Like, when do we fully gain consciousness? It was like, you're like a child and like you don't remember your childhood memories and like you remember bits and pieces, but then like eventually you just
your first
I'm in the middle of a Wendy's right now or whatever.
Shut up. I literally took a class on early childhood and development.
Okay.
Your first memories are usually always traumatic.
Mine weren't.
Mine was me climbing out of my crib and falling down the stairs.
You were kind of right about that. Some of my earliest memory was me and the first night of me and my mom in the Philippines. And then I was in our bedroom. I put a blanket over my head, spun around, fell over, it hit my head on a bed frame, split my forehead open, had to go to the hospital, get 4 stitches.
See,
Justin knows
right,
what's up. You're
You're
weird.
No, listen, one of my earliest memories is traumatic, but my earliest one is not. It's very distinctly me being like maybe 1 or 2. and I remember a curtain, like a breeze hitting one of like, you know those like grandma curtains that are like lacy and have like flower designs on them,
Yeah.
like really thin see-through ones.
Yep.
I remember the wind hit one of those curtains and it bounced into me and tickled my nose, and I laughed. That's my earliest memory. That's literally, I remember being so short the bottom of the curtain hit me in the face, and it made me laugh. That's the first thing my brain was like, record that. Like,
It's like, write that down.
I
Write that
honestly
down, he
don't
laughed.
remember my first memory. I don't know which
That
one was
wasn't
my
my
first.
first. That wasn't my first, but that was definitely traumatic enough for me to remember it.
I do remember.
No.
I used to share a bed with my sister, and she kicked. So one night she moved the dresser to the side of the bed, and then she kicked me off the bed in her sleep, and I woke up bleeding from the mouth, and I still have a scar on my lip
my
from that.
God.
And I'm just like, imagine my parents opening their door to their little girl bleeding from the mouth in the middle of the night. Like that's probably
That's
scary.
crazy.
Scary.
Yeah.
Then your sister said we don't talk about Fight Club. See, my earliest memory is the curtain thing, but then there's like a 3-year gap, and my next earliest memory is almost dying of like blood loss. And that's like this, well, not blood loss, blood oxidation. I think we lost Josh, didn't we?
I like his.
Oh yeah, he froze in that
Yeah, he's
pose.
definitely
Oh no.
frozen. Josh, quit and rejoin. We lost you. It's funny because we're gonna have his recording of things, and we're gonna know if you
Yeah.
can hear everything we're saying.
That's gonna be great.
Guys, but this is a priceless. I got a
Yeah.
screenshot. Let's just capture this. We can make this a thumbnail.
Please.
This week.
Oh yes,
We're
please.
gonna-
We should.
We're gonna. All right, it's saved to my. It's saved.
Another weird thing I wanted.
Alright,
Oh, there he
hang on.
is.
You're
That was
back?
weird, my
He's back.
Oh.
Oh, he's frozen.
No, he's
Never
left.
mind. Never mind.
My
He's
internet
back.
cut out there for like the last minute.
Did you hear any of it?
The
we were
last thing I
saying?
heard was blood loss.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, we captured quite a lovely screenshot of you reacting to blood loss, and that's gonna. Let me just share real quick so you can see what we're seeing for a minute.
Oh,
This
God.
is gonna be the thumbnail that we're gonna put the text over this week.
That's great.
Dude, that's a nice haircut.
Yeah,
That middle part, sexy.
crisp.
No.
But no. Oh yeah, blood loss. It wasn't exactly blood loss. It was blood oxidation. I have a rare blood disease. I can't have certain things. One of them happens to be a very cultural Arabic dish, which is fava beans.
Oh yeah.
And my babysitter, no one knew I had this extremely rare blood disease that's like totally mundane until it activates. And I had these fava beans, and I'm missing a blood enzyme, so all of my blood started to rapidly oxidize, and I was blacking out and turning like purple. And I remember I have like early memories of my dad speeding from hospital to hospital, like trying to get me to someone who knew what this rare disease was. And I remember he was like freaking out, asking doctors, and I was just like, "There's a giraffe on the wall who wants to measure me. I wonder how tall I am." Like, you know those things you find in pediatrics hospitals where it's like a giraffe and it's like, "How tall are you?" I just remember seeing the giraffe and like, "I wonder how tall I am." And this was well before I knew how to read, so I didn't know. Even if I stood next to a giraffe, I would have no way of knowing how tall I was. But yeah, that was one of my earliest
It's like,
memories.
you're dying, Dad. How tall am I? Shut up.
You're gonna be 6 feet under if we don't hurry. But yeah, there's a big gap between my first and second memories.
So your first memory, that tickles. Second memory, how tall am I?
I just like to imagine if I was conscious enough to have these like stitched back to back. I just like to see this series of events. Like, current tickle. Oh God, what's happening? Ah! Hey, look, a giraffe.
When your life flashes before your eyes,
Wait.
before you're about to die, you just see them right
Justin-
after each other.
Just you know
Did you
those
hear a
TikToks
theory?
where it's like the point of view and like it's like and everything like starts getting hazy and yeah, I'm imagining that's what happened to Sharif.
You're a mosquito in Magic Johnson's house.
Yeah.
It's just me reaching for a giraffe and then No, but did you hear that theory of why people think your life flashes before your eyes?
Is so that your
I
brain.
mean, I've heard a few.
It like
It's your
takes away
well,
from like you dying, like to like distract you.
no, the prevailing one is it's your brain doing like a quick index search on how to get out of the situation of like all your experienced
makes
memories.
sense.
It's like there's got to be something in this memory bank somewhere that'll get me out of this. So that's kind of cool. I like that. I like that brain is trying to save itself up until the very end.
Maybe the memory of the giraffe will save you one day when you're about to die.
I'll be sitting there.
There was
Yeah.
another theory that I heard behind like why
Yeah.
your life flashes before your eyes. It was because supposedly, no one knows for sure, but they think
Right.
that DMT, like the drug, it's a naturally occurring drug that occurs in
Oh.
your body when you're born, sometimes when you dream, and they think when you die.
Your brain's just more.
And if you, I don't know if you know anything about this, but apparently people
Nope.
that take it, they said they've experienced entire lives like separate of their own, and when they like come out of being high, it's like they don't remember like who they are for a minute because they just spent like years or decades.
You think
living
maybe we're
another
doing that
life in
right
the span
now?
of like an hour,
You think maybe we're doing that right now?
maybe.
It's possible.
This podcast isn't real. I like Regina's idea better that the giraffe will one day come back to save me.
The giraffe is actually God.
I'm just like bleeding out on a battlefield, and then like a silhouette of a giraffe reaches at me. It's like, get up, soldier, you're not done yet.
It's just Jeffrey
like-
the giraffe from Toys R Us.
He picks me up. He's like, "You're 6 foot," and I'm like, "I got this." Charge back in one more time. I like this idea a lot better than Josh's theory. Jeffrey, he'll one day, yes. I don't know. Wait, anyone else have anything they want to talk about?
Dreams are weird. Y'all
There's
ever
this,
have a-
there's this big
DMT is
issue.
crazy.
Well, Josh, we don't hear about your experiences, but there's this thing of every time we immediately finish recording one of these podcasts, we all of a sudden have everything to say.
Yeah. All right, so let's just pretend we're done. Pretend we're done.
Okay,
We've
we're
done
done with
that
the
before.
podcast. That was really good. Okay.
So Cinco,
We've totally
what was the
psyched-
thing
I've
you were
had
talking
some-
about with like a bunch of Filipino girls in a room and a bunch of Arabic guys in a room?
I know that's
Oh!
PG. Keep it PG.
No, I
don't
know
know
where
what's
she's going with
happening.
that. I know where she's going with that.
I know it was our theory on how first Regina and Sharif would meet each other for the first time, and we would put up like a Craigslist ad for a bunch of like 18
Big
to 20-year-old
Arab men needed.
18 to 20-year-old Filipino girls, and then big like 6'3" Arab men. Is that how tall you are, Sharif?
He is 6 foot.
I'm 6
6
foot.
foot one?
6 foot.
I'm,
Okay, so
I'm
okay.
6 foot
Big,
flat.
6 foot.
See, Josh, that's what I'm
Arab
talking
men.
about. Everyone thinks
Dress
I'm
up as
taller
Ben
than I am.
Franklin.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just 6 foot.
And then we'd all put them into one room, and Sharif and Regina would be in the mix of it, and their objective would be to find each other. But then all the Filipino girls are gonna be like, "My name's Regina," and then all the Arab dudes are like, "I'm Sharif." So they actually got to find each other.
No, we can make this even better. We can instruct all the Arab men and the Filipino girls to act like they're trying to find the real one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
figured
that's
that's how you
just-
would do it. Otherwise,
it's
it's pretty
just-
obvious.
Yeah.
No, Justin's just saying like no.
See,
Imagine that, just like a bunch of people trying to question each other, trying to find like the two real ones.
no,
Like, you
see,
have
I
to
would
tell
have,
each of them a little bit about your life and backstory, so they have like something to say.
I would have the advantage because I know what Sharif's thumb looks like.
She knows that, and she
Give me
knows
your
Have
thumb.
what
all
my-
of them tape their
Wait.
thumbs.
Regina,
Yeah.
do you know if it's the left or the right thumb?
I have no idea.
That is the question. So that
There's a
does
big-
nothing
there's
for
a
you.
big-
Aren't your,
difference.
That
are
does
your
nothing for
thumbprints
you.
not identical on your left and
No.
right? Oh.
No.
Your handprints are not, or your fingerprints are not identical at all.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
you
now
know
you
what,
have
Sharif?
two times the
Before you
options.
guys do this, everyone participating and both of you have to burn off your fingerprints.
He doesn't even have my thumb.
Well, now we're getting a little criminal. She's just gonna be looking for the dude with no fingerprints.
No. All of you do.
Oh
my
wow,
God.
this is. I feel like we're not going to
Looking
be
for
able
a
to find a.
6 foot tall Arab man to burn off fingerprints.
I feel like we're not going
I
to be
feel
able
like that
to
would
fill
get
out those.
put on some kind of FBI watch list.
Yeah, that's definitely going to happen.
See, Josh, that's why we put you in charge of the Craigslist ad and not like any of us.
So I get
I
arrested.
can make
I'm
I
still
can make
down.
it spicy.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
Good point.
you're
Wait,
you're
no,
you're half
Sharif.
brown.
Sharif, we put Kyle
Yeah.
in charge of it.
Kyle's gonna one day get arrested. Just like a police officer's gonna like see him and be like, "Stop right there! You're coming with me." And be
He's
like,
just gonna
"For
say
what?"
something stupid.
No, he's not even gonna have to. They're just gonna look at him and be like, "That's the guy," and then they're
Oh,
just
wait.
gonna take him away. Literally,
we
no
don't know
reason.
what he's up to, but he looks dumb.
But we know he's gonna do something.
God,
Regi-
I can't
Regina.
go back. He looks like Blake Anderson right now.
Yeah,
Regina,
that's crazy.
Real quick, before the end of this podcast actually comes, didn't you have like a dream that involved the three of us
Oh,
that you wanted to say for
shoot.
the podcast? You wrote it down somewhere, didn't you?
I did.
three of
I
us?
forgot. No, it was just you, Sharif. Oh no, Cinco, you were in it too. Sorry,
Wow, I
Josh.
wasn't in it.
You're not important. You just founded
not
the
cool
group. You don't
enough,
have anything
Fair,
to do with that.
fair.
Okay.
It's not like I'm the reason any of us even know each other.
Yeah, of course.
Totally not.
So
Oh,
in
well,
my
I mean, to be fair,
dream,
hold on. To be fair, I knew Regina before this, so eat that.
I knew
Josh.
Sharif before this. You're not special.
To be
Justin.
fair, if I didn't join on as the second member of Safa, the group wouldn't exist because you had 10 people even.
No, we needed I think 4 or 5 people total to start. The group.
Oh, did you? I thought you needed 10.
No.
Okay,
But
okay.
it would have been even worse because I would have had to ask other people.
Going back
Yeah,
to Regina's
I
dream.
we know
easily
we
filled
both
out
don't
that
like.
role. Yeah, that's true.
Going back to it though. Going back to it. Regina,
Yeah,
go
all
ahead.
right.
okay, so there was like a ceremony, and it was at my house, and there were a bunch of people there, and Cinco was there, and then Sharif showed up, and and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't see Sharif. Like even in my subconscious, I know I'm not supposed to know what Sharif looks like. So I tried hiding behind Cinco, but he wouldn't let me. And then, so like for a lot of this dream, I was closing my eyes because I didn't want to see what Sharif looked like. And then, let's see. I was wearing a beanie, so I used it to cover my eyes. I do not remember this. I just wrote this in my phone after I woke up. Sharif, you kept facing me, and I kept telling you to stop.
That sounds like something I'd do. Like, blatantly disrespect the rules of this engagement.
I would look towards you whenever I had to talk to you, but I never looked directly in your eyes or at your face.
You just stare at his feet or something.
No,
His
I just like
toes?
looked in his general direction. And then, it got so
It's a
weird.
lot of direction to look
It
in.
got so weird. There were these priests, and they started chasing us, and we had to like, we had to run through all these different
Where's
doors
this
and rooms,
going?
like on a
So like a
chase.
Scooby Doo chase.
And yeah, exactly. And there was one door that we went through. It was a slide, and it ended at a ball pit. But I almost missed the ball pit, and Sharif started laughing at me. And then,
That sounds about right.
Are you sure this was a dream?
so we were fighting the priests with giant rulers, and I hid. And then I eventually died, and then I woke up. And that was the end of the dream.
Died.
What if that was reality and this is everything flashing before your eyes?
So is this supposed to help me figure out how I'm not supposed to die?
Yeah.
What am I
You're
supposed to
thinking
pull
back to
from
all your
this?
interactions of
Don't
me.
grab the ruler, grab something bigger.
Grab something bigger.
Imagine if that's how it was when there were light flashes before your eyes. Someone's like gives you advice. Like Josh
In
is
a
just
dream.
What
like,
if
don't
they're-
do that.
No, it's in a dream, and then someone gives you advice once you tell them about it.
You know what? I think we've talked so much about your brain logging things and like near death that when like Regina comes to actually die sometime in the future, this is gonna be one of those
This is all I
memories right
have to
now.
look back at.
This is all she's gonna have. Just this conversation.
Sure, it's just gonna be your face as Benjamin Franklin. She's like, well,
My face is Benjamin Franklin.
It just
This
10 seconds of just that in her head, and then that's it. Nothing else flashing before her eyes. Just Sharif,
know what?
Jamin Franklin.
This is really funny because this kind of connect that me and Regina have like is not something you normally find between people nowadays, but this is exactly what early internet friendships were like.
Oh yeah.
Is you literally just knew people by like a gamer name and an avatar, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because your
Yeah.
parents were like, never tell a stranger your name in real life. And I was like, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. We have a very 90s
I
thing
like
going
how
on here.
much culture has changed from like, don't tell anyone online where you live, and now you hire people online to come to your house and pick you up.
And Sharif
yeah, I was
found
gonna
my address and sent me something to my home.
Totally
Do
wasn't
you know how
anyone's fault like mine or anything like that.
Oh, I was just about to ask her if she knew how I got it.
I'm just saying a 25-year-old man that I met online somehow acquired my address and
Yeah,
But I feel-
anonymously sent
Chris
me a Nick
Hansen's on
Cage
his way,
mask in the
Sharif.
mail.
It's either I'm going to jail or this is like the beginning. This is like the story behind how we started a company together.
No, I'm
Like,
still
there's
gonna
only,
send
like,
you a cup of
there's
coffee
gonna
in
be
the
a-
mail.
Sharif, there's gonna
Yeah.
be a 2020 special, and this is gonna be like one of those cutbacks or like flashbacks where it's like all in gray and they like freeze frames. It's like, and this is where it all started.
But what would they freeze frame? This is gonna be an audio podcast. They're not gonna see this.
No, they're
video.
they're gonna have someone reenacting it.
It's either gonna be that
Oh.
or this. I was gonna say, or this is gonna be like the 50-year anniversary of like the beginning of a company we started that like changed the world or something.
Not
Like,
for the
it's
better,
one-
for the worse.
For the worse, but it's one or the other. It's either jail or that. There's no other way this can end.
No in between.
Who would
There's,
want me?
there's no in between.
Maybe both.
I mean, I
Who would
wouldn't go
want
to
to play
jail.
me in a live action movie? Who would you want
You
to play you in a
wouldn't,
live
but-
action movie?
Oh, me? Easy.
Angelina
Jason
Jolie.
The
Momoa.
Rock.
Angelina
sick.
Jolie.
I would have. I can't remember his name, but he was the main character in Shang-Chi, and he's the brother
Simu
in
Liu.
Kim's Convenience. Yes, him. That'd be kind of cool to have him play me in,
Oh, I love
in a
him.
live action.
Wait, Sharif.
I want
Sure.
Jason Momoa just because
Wait, no,
someone
sure.
once called me a dollar store
Sure.
Jason Momoa.
Sharif. No. Shoot.
Yeah.
Has to be. Your Dwayne the Rock Johnson would play you.
Hey, that was
Kevin
mine.
Hart would play me.
No,
Kevin-
Kevin Hart would play Regina.
Kevin Hart walks on stage. Yeah, I'm just your average, 2-foot tall Filipino
Hey.
woman.
Isn't The Rock not as tall as he appears? Isn't
No,
he
I don't
only
think
like?
so.
I think he's like 6 foot tall or something. Like he's nothing. Like he's not crazy big or anything like that.
No.
The Rock height. He is. Oh my God! He's 6'5".
Okay, yeah,
Never
he's
mind.
No, he's not.
That's way taller than I thought. That's way taller than I thought.
How tall is Kevin
Just
Hart?
imagine,
Just a bit,
imagine
jeez.
The Rock just as ripped as he is now, just like 5'4". Just imagine that. Like you go to like
Yeah.
a red carpet event and he's like, "Oh my God, it's The Rock!" And then just some 5'4" ripped dude walks on the red carpet.
Jeez, have you seen the picture of The Rock standing next to Yao Ming?
Yes,
Yes.
and like
That is a phenomenal image. It really should. I feel like this is gonna be me and Regina when we meet. Like this is gonna be this.
Wait, Sharif, no. You know who I would love to have play me in a live action movie in our
Uh-huh.
lives? Rob Schneider, because he's also half Filipino.
Rob Schneider.
Rob.
But isn't he also half like asshole or something?
Yeah.
Oof.
He's like
That's
a
pretty fitting.
piece of shit in real life, isn't he?
Maybe. I don't know. I literally just
Yeah.
Googled Filipino American actors to see who I recognized.
Rob Schneider's half
Wait.
Filipino.
Yeah, Sharif, no, here we go. You have.
Are we thinking of the
Sharif,
right person?
Sharif, you have Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Momoa. I have Dave
Uh-huh.
Bautista.
oh hell yeah,
Dave Bautista.
Dave
It's
Bautista, the guy that plays
Drax.
Drax.
Oh. You'd have to put on like a weave. You'd have to put on a weave, but I think if we're trying to portray us as like really buff, I think we can do this.
Yeah, but they have to pull like some like Captain America, the first Avenger shit, where like they make him scrawny for the first act of the movie, and then I start working out, and then he just bulks up.
I like this. Rob Schneider's half Filipino.
Yeah.
he
He is
doesn't really
by
look
far-
like it, but he is.
No, he is by far the ugliest dude out there. Like I
Hey,
can
are
say
you
that
calling-
with full
Are you
confidence.
calling half Filipinos ugly?
I'm
Josh, what do you
not
have to say
saying.
about that?
I'm not saying the opposite. I'll tell you that much. Look at this.
Wait, hold
This
on, let me see.
dude. Come on. This
Ooh,
dude.
look at his forehead.
Wait, click on
What
the
are we
mustache one.
looking
Like,
at
the third
here?
One, the third one. Click on the mustache one.
I don't think is that him?
Yeah,
That is
that's
him. Yeah.
Oh my god,
Ew.
what's happened to
Wait,
him?
no, Sharif. I'm looking at the suggested pictures below it. Seth Rogen plays you. Rob Schneider plays me.
This is horrible. We're making this worse and worse. Can we have Regina played by like, I don't know, like a small Korean child or something? Like something totally wrong, like a 6-year-old.
To
Wait,
accurately
have you guys
portray.
ever watched Arrested Development?
No, I did not
Oh,
watch
the-
that.
No.
One of the characters in this show was a tiny Korean kid. But like they never understood him, and they thought that Anyong was his name, but that was just him saying hello all the time.
Nice.
That'll be
I
the
think
person
we,
who plays me.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. I think we're gonna end it.
Yeah,
We're gonna end
wait,
it,
we
right?
Is that-
cast
is that
ourselves in the
music?
live action movie.
Right.
I think we're good. The podcast is done forever now. Catch us in theaters.
Forever
December
until 2 weeks
2023.
from now. God, I can't wait for us to do something heinous and then this becomes like a real thing. Like they're really gonna have to be like, man, who can portray them?
Wait, Sharif, do you hear the outro music playing right now?
Oh, wow, yeah, there it
I
is.
think
Hey,
I hear
wow.
the outro music playing.
Justin,
thanks for
Oh.
listening
Is it-
to the
it's
Mutually
slowly-
Assured Destruction
slowly
podcast.
Sharif,
getting
Sharif,
louder and
before-
louder.
It's too
Before
loud.
you guys say anything, guys, stop.
Yeah.
I have one thing to say.
No, what? You're ruining it. You're ruining the outro music. He's trying. We're fading. It's done. Goodbye. Thanks, Regina. Thanks.